Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is Saturday morning. It's 9:27 in the a.m., and it's March 16th. Let me just get into this reading. I'm sounding a little bit downtrodden and downcast because I'm just frustrated with dealing with technical issues, more specific with Facebook issues, and having a service that does not have live customer service is beyond the pale for me. I just need to say that. They have billions of users and no live customer service. But I digress. Let me just get into my message. Amen. The Lord's going to make a way. I'm praying for healing for my computer. I am reading just for today. And it's a very interesting reading. I've entitled my recording The Dreaded Inventory. And, if you're not familiar with the steps, one of the steps is, and this is the fourth step, and this is the step that usually takes people out, is a searching and fearless moral inventory. Okay, searching, right? I'm going to dig deep and examine all my character defects. I'm going to dig deep and look at all the things that I played a part in and that has happened to me as a result of, this is, addiction, but as a result of my need for healing, the poor choices that I made and the things that were inflicted upon me and by me. Okay, I hope that has some level of clarity now for the fourth step. And the reason I say it takes most people out is because, a deep cleanse, a deep moral and spiritual cleanse frightens people. And most people settle for the just good enough. If I sweep in the house and, I see debris in the corners and debris along the baseboard, is my house clean? And see, that's what the just good enough is. You're allowing some tolerable debris or residue. Okay, let me just get into the reading. It says, the purpose of a searching and fearless moral inventory is to sort through the confusion and the contradiction of our lives so that we can find out who we really are. And see, a lot of us, when we find out who we really are, we're afraid. And then we go into this state of denial. I didn't do that. Or you made me do that. Or I only did this because, then we go into this projection mode. It's anybody and everybody except ourselves that are committing, despicable acts. And I want to say, on some levels, moral atrocities. And again, I want to go back to, the searching and fearless moral inventory. I'm going to expose all of who I am in order to deal with all of who I am. Amen. And that's important. Excuse me, that was my phone. That's important to just lay it all out. You live with it this long, so now all of a sudden you're afraid of it. It says using addicts are a confused and a confusing bunch of people. And I'm going to say that about people who are emotionally stunted, people who are in need of, I want to say, spiritual healing. Now, we call a lot of things spiritual, but I'm talking about the relationship with the Most High. You know, now we're in the habit of throwing the word narcissist around. Now, trust and believe, I know some narcissists. And at times, I have narcissistic tendencies. We all do. But a true narcissist is incapable of making the changes that I'm talking about. A true narcissist is highly invested in projecting blame. Why? Because they know that they know just how damaged they are. And the slightest little thing, you know, is a chink in the armor of, I want to say, protection. You know, protecting that image. I have to be seen as this. At all costs, I have to be seen as this. But then there's this backstory, you know, that's also being protected, that they don't want people to know or see. And a house divided against itself cannot and will not stand. Amen. Let me get back to the story. It says usually addicts are confused and confusing bunch of people. It's hard to tell 1 minute to the next what they're going to do or what they're going to be, or who they're going to be. This is true also for the person that's a narcissist. And see, narcissistic traits and traits of addiction are so similar. I want when I want it. And I don't care how I get it. You know, it's that Audrey to Seymour. Feed me, Seymour. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the reference, it's the Little Shop of Horrors. What an appropriate title. I want what I want when I want it. And Little Shop of Horrors. Because that is the end result of these unchecked behaviors. The writer says, when we used, our behavior was dictated by the need of our addiction. Many of us still identify our personalities closely with the behaviors we participated in while using, leading us to feel shame and despair. Today, we don't have to be the people we once were, shaped by our addiction. Recovery has allowed us to change. So basically what the writer is saying is, you know, we're mentally imprisoned to these behaviors because that's how we were defined. You know, so we continue to act on these behaviors. Now, if we're truly engaged, if we're truly doing this fearless moral inventory, if we're truly doing the self-work, if we're truly presenting ourselves before the throne, then we have the ability to change. But this is only as a result of our surrendering. The writer says we use the fourth step inventory to see past the need of the old using life and find out who we want to be today. You know, some of us are too old to be a fireman or a ballerina. What is the realistic goal? Now, I say you're too old to be this or that, but you can be affiliated with it. Amen. It's knowing our limitations and in presenting yourself before the throne, you know your limitations and you rely on God to do the rest. Amen. You know, it's a perfect work if you work it. But if nothing changes, nothing changes.